So in this video, I'm going to go over equity lines, and I'm going to be going through this example on ticker NEHC. I believe this is the first time I've gone over equity lines, so that's here on the dilution tab on this equity line section. And I think, as I mentioned before, I don't always put a whole lot of emphasis on these because there's often pretty strict limitations in terms of how much they can sell in a given day. So while they're similar to ATMs, there's that limitation that ATMs often don't have. And we'll have the details here, but I'll show you where you can actually find these details. So here, as you can see here, it's the way it's priced is 95% of basically the VWAP over a certain period of time. So they're just getting a discount and then just selling it into the open market like an ATM. But then you can see that the volume, the amount of shares that can be sold is subject to a maximum, which is the greater of 400% the aggregate volume traded over the 5 trading days. So that's actually pretty high limit, whereas a lot of times you might see like, okay, there's a 200K share max, or we can only sell $500,000 in a given day. And then also with these, there's usually an exchange cap, which is basically saying like they can't sell more than 20% outstanding shares. So in this case, this is their float without outstanding shares. I think it's like 8 million. That would be like 1.6 million shares. Unless they get approval, they actually got approval to sell more than that. So you can see that there's not actually much limitation on this one in particular. But if you want to see the details for yourself, and I recommend you do that, is if you go into the filing. Let me just take a quick step back. This is the registration. This is registering. This is an S1. It's registering the shares for this equity line. Kind of similarly to how like an S3 shelf will register shares that a company can then sell in an ATM or in a registered direct offering. But here's at the beginning is the explanation of what this registration is for. So it's actually for a couple things. It's for some convertible notes, and then it's also for this equity purchase facility. So this is the equity line. And then you'll see the description here if you just search for the term, or you can just ask an AI. This is something I'll quickly do, is I have this kind of canned question where I'll say, how are the purchase facility with ATW, how is it priced and how is the amount, daily amount of shares determined? And then I'll just give me a quick answer and I'll just do that. But you can also look and see the details for yourself, and you can see where it's coming from, the 400% value here. So that's pretty much it. So with these equity lines, you basically just want to see what the limits are, so you can anticipate how much potential supply there might be. And then one other quick thing, we actually added another section, lockup. So with this one, actually, they because this was a recent business combination, so they had a lockup for 180 days from December, and actually just expired. So this can come in pretty handy as well, because now you have basically another variable to contribute to your thesis. So you have yet another source of potential supply. But that's it.